Bailey.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi.
How's it going?
It's going really good right now.
Yeah?
Yeah.
First of all, thank you for winning me the draft. I drafted you.
No way!
Yes.
You're welcome! Thank you for drafting me.
And congratulations, because it was a very impressive win.
Thank you.
I think I was particularly impressed by the fact that you were really in a lot of trouble in the beginning.
That's right, I was. That's right, I was.
I thought that my team wasn't looking great at first, but you really persisted, and what I found particularly impressive was that, like, despite the fact that you were out of the loop on a lot of things like hot chocolate, like hotter chocolate.
Oh, I didn't know there was a hotter chocolate.
Oh, that was just the women.
Oh my God.
And then the Directors Alliance.
Don't know that one.
Okay,
Who the hell's in that?
that was Anthony, Spicy, Avery, Kayla, Goose, and Matt.
Are you kidding me? The Directors Alliance.
Goose named it.
Of course he did. Wow, good one, guys. You went real far. Okay?
Yeah. Well, this is kind of my point, though. Despite the fact that you weren't like included in a lot of these things, and you didn't know about them, you really were able to push your own agenda in a way that wasn't like nefarious necessarily, but in a way that was like, hey, like Spicy, this is what's best for us. And it happened to be best for you as well.
Yeah.
Even, and it's quite frankly, knowing what we know about Spicy's game, it wasn't really great for Spicy.
No.
But she still did it. She was very convinced by you. She was very taken in by you. And then in the end here, we're seeing that Anthony takes you to the final two as well. How'd you do it?
You know what? I really have to attribute it to the fact that I truly was loyal to these people. It wasn't an act, and I think maybe Spicy knew that she was involved in a couple other things that she wasn't being truthful with, but she knew where my loyalty lied. She knew that I was being honest with her, and so she trusted me with the game moves that I wanted to make because she knew that no matter what happened, I would have her back. And when it comes to Anthony, I think that he maybe underestimated the amount of playing I was doing in this game, but in the same way, I was very honest with him. It kind of made it hard for people to think that I was disloyal or dishonest. Yeah. So they didn't really have a choice but to trust what I was saying. And I proved that. I proved my word a lot in this game, and I knew that I had the facts to back it up, so I guess people just felt the need to trust me.
Yeah. I mean, listen, it was nobody's best interest to keep Todd in the game other than you.
Nope. I know.
And Spicy went out of her way multiple times to protect him, including the executive veto week.
Yep.
Which was obviously very crucial.
Yes.
So talk to me about your relationship with Anthony and what you talked about, where it's like, I think part of how you functioned was that you were so honest with people. That it made them feel like, you know, even though we're arguing, we get over it. I feel better about her now that we've talked it through.
Yes.
And then you could lie to them after.
Yes. Exactly.
How much of that was intentional?
All of that was intentional. Every time I was arguing with Anthony, that was very real and very raw, and you know, those were the real feelings that I was having. I was very frustrated with him because all I wanted was for him to give me as much of his game as I was giving to him. Yeah. And I wanted him to trust me fully, even though I knew when it came down to it, I was going to be more loyal to the girls. All of that was my way of getting through issues. That's the only way I know how to do that. I don't have the same skills that he has to manipulate or work around the problem. I just dive straight into it, and it worked out in my favor a lot of the time. Yeah. Yeah.
Is this something you do in like your real life, where like you hash? Because it seemed like it came very naturally to you. That you'd like just hash it out with somebody.
Yes. As you probably have seen through this season, I don't do well letting things stew inside of me. I need to get to the root of the problem right away, and I like to hash things out as they come because I simply can't handle how it feels inside my body. Yeah. So I like to work things out with people. I want to find a solution, and this is exactly how I behave in my everyday life.
Well, it's like a manipulator's nightmare, right? Because they function on everybody staying quiet and not communicating.
I thought I did a good job of seeing through some of that manipulation, and they don't like that. Hence why we argue for hours on end. Yeah.
So the jury.
Yeah.
6 of them voted for you.
Yeah.
Why do you think Goose went the other way?
Who knows why Goose went the other way? That kid is a wild card. I didn't count on his vote. Anyway, I think that he was closer with Anthony, and you know, Anthony played an amazing game. I understand why anyone would vote for him to win. I think that Anthony didn't wrong Goose in the same way that maybe the other jurors felt. So he was voting for his bed buddy. So I understand.
Yeah.
He also didn't like me apparently. So freaking
Really?
couldn't stand me. I guess. Yeah, that's what I heard.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
What else have you heard?
That's it. I
That's
don't
it?
know.
You just you talked to them. They just whispered, "Hey, Goose didn't like you."
No. When Goose was HOH, Lexus told me that he said he couldn't frickin' stand me.
Oh.
So that's when I knew that.
That was
but
when you were, I think, the target at the time.
yeah, when the back door was happening. Yeah. Yeah, which never happened. So.
No, it didn't. Yeah, multiple times.
Multiple times people wanted me out of this game. Yeah, without me even knowing.
I think that there's probably going to be a lot of discourse about the bitter factor of this jury.
Yes.
How do you feel about that? Like, do you feel like they were bitter? Do you feel like what are your thoughts on it right now?
I think the jury valued a lot of the same things that I would value being a voter, and that is loyalty, and that is, you know, working with someone that betrayed you. I didn't betray anybody in that jury, but Anthony did, and they had feelings about that. But I also think the jury wanted someone to win that played a more loyal and honest game, and I think that that was me. I think that I worked much harder on my relationships with the members of the jury than Anthony might have. So that worked out in my favor because they knew exactly what kind of person I was. I wasn't hiding anything. I didn't lie to them. I didn't backstab them. You know, none of them were really the reason why they were sitting there, or I wasn't the reason why any of them were sitting there. So maybe they were bitter, but that's the risk you take when you leave your game in the hands of a jury.
Well, I think from my perspective at least, and I haven't talked to the jury, but like, I do think they were very bitter. I mean,
Yep.
Victoria literally had a trash bag at the jury roundtable that she pulled out. So yeah, definitely some hurt feelings. That said, I do think that there was also a lot of pro-Bailey sentiment, and I think that like a lot of the people on that jury really respected the way you played the game. When I talked to them in the exit interviews, like right as they were coming out,
Right.
a lot of them had you high on their lists of like people they thought they would vote for
Wow.
in the end.
Wow.
And so I think that like, you know, I think the two things can both be true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so too. Yeah.
Talk to me about Spicy, because for a long time you were working very closely with her.
Yes, I was.
I think I might have described it as like inadvertently sabotaging her game.
But I thought that she was
I know,
me, so I thought
exactly.
it was for us.
Right? That's why it was inadvertent.
Oh my God, it's hilarious.
You eventually find out that she has been 2, 3, 4, 5 timing.
Yeah.
What are your feelings about Spicy right now?
I know that I was more loyal to Spicy than she was to me. I'm not shocked that she had other things going on. It makes more sense to me now why things happened the way they happened, why Anthony knew I did want him out of the game. And yeah, I don't hold that against her at all. I'm glad I found out when I did, and I don't regret being as loyal as I was to her. Like, I think that's why she kept me around for so long, because she truly knew how much I was riding with her. So I have no regrets about that. I don't hold anything against her. It all worked out the way it was supposed to work out, and I love Spicy.
Did you ever consider keeping her and evicting Lexus at the final 5?
I may have considered that had I not heard about all these other alliances, and you know, the vote against me really, I couldn't really get over that. The evidence was too strong to know that I really wasn't her number one. So for me, keeping someone in the game who says they're your number one but they're not is more dangerous than keeping someone in the game that you're not really even working with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because when Spicy cast the sympathy vote, I was like, it's not the call, it's not the move,
That's
because they're
right.
going to see what you're doing,
Yeah.
and Avery's going to vote for you anyway.
Right.
And then when Anthony did not cast the sympathy vote for Tola,
Right.
it was like, see, this is the way you should go. But then Tola was very mad about it.
Well, he was. Oh my God, is that why he freaking voted for me to win?
It seems like it, maybe. I think
He was really counting on him to vote for him to stay. Yeah.
my guess would be that there was a seed of that. He wanted to like maybe talk to Anthony about it, and then with the sentiment in the jury,
Yeah.
it really grew, right?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that sympathy vote was not the right move. I told her not to do that and that I would feel a type of way, and she did it. So, I mean, she kind of made her bed. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It was
Yes.
really nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.